worlds now, and the ultimate target is always going to be the world title. The ultimate obstacle is always likely to be Mike Tyson. And after that upset against Buster Douglas, he's got the third fight of his comeback next month. It should be another routine one against Razor Ruddock. Harry Carpenter has been checking on the former world champion's progress.
Tyson's camp is in Las Vegas. Finding the gym is easy. Getting in, more difficult. But once in, you find Tyson working well. It's almost exactly a year since his world crumbled against Buster Douglas. Did that experience humble him? Can he put it behind him and climb to the top again? These were the things I wanted to find out. Next month at the gaudy Mirage Hotel, he faces Canadian Razor Ruddock. Mike, I'd like to know how your comeback is going with a view to getting that world title back. How is it?
Well, and I feel great, Harry, and I'm in great shape. And at this particular point right now, I feel better than I ever felt in my career. Coming back fight after fight, I feel I'm in good shape. I feel great. This is perhaps my 4th day of boxing, and I'm doing great.
How dangerous is Razor Ruddock?
Well, you know, he looks like a very tough, very strong guy. I'm up for the fight, and I'm prepared. I'm just up for it. I just want to fight him.
I just wonder, you see, how do you get your old keenness back? I mean, that shock in Tokyo, I mean, what did that do to you?
Oh, it's funny because, you know, I never realized it. I just often think about it now. I said, whoa, what the hell happened? And every now and then I think, well, God, I don't believe it until then it sits in. I really haven't started sitting into it recently. And it's like, holy shit, you see, goofed up.
That was a fight you had won in the 8th round. You won that fight in the 8th because the guy wasn't up at 10.
But the hell, I got a lot of breaks, you know what I mean? What the hell?
What do you think? What do you think went wrong? What happened after the 8th round? Where did it go?
He wasn't prepared, you know what I mean? And he fought a good fight. I just wasn't right. I mean, I just took it for granted. Took my body for granted. Took my skills for granted. You know what I mean? But he fought a great fight. Can't take away. If he never did anything wrong, he fought a great fight that night.
So how do you not take things for granted now? What's the difference between now and then?
I'm in here training hard all the time, and I mean, I'm in here. I'm just concentrating on making myself a better fighter.
What about Holyfield? How do you rate him?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. I mean, I can't take nothing away from him. He's a proud. You know what I mean, he's a great champion. He's fighting great. You know what I mean? He fought well against the other guy, but I'm talking about his prior fights before that. He always fought well and gave good fights.
When do you see that fight taking place? Is it for this year, maybe?
I don't know. I don't even look after him. I'm just concentrating on being a better fighter.
You're a man who, you see, you understand the history of boxing, and you're very proud of your own place in it. And I know that you want to be one of the greats of boxing. What do you have to do now to make yourself what you want to be, which I know is the greatest heavyweight champion of all time? What do you have to do now?
The hardest thing about it is the easiest thing, which no one does, just sacrifice. I mean, just leave the girls alone, leave, you know what I mean, the late nights alone, just concentrate on what you do. I'm a fighter, I'm not a nightclub dancer, I'm not a gigolo, I'm a fighter, and that's what I concentrate on.
But can you put all that behind you and concentrate just on being a fighter? I mean, you've got all the money in the world, you don't need money now, do you?
It's very difficult, but yeah, I really can, I believe so.
When do you see yourself giving up? I mean, let's assume you win the title back. How long would you want to go on after that?
Oh, yeah, I'm not interested in fighting too long. I mean, every now and then, like while I'm in training now, I'm never interested, but once I'm in training, it's I don't know what it is, like a bug. You just want to do it.
Do you follow British boxing? I mean, I know it's 2 years now since you fought Frank Bruno.
I know a little about British boxing.
Right, but he didn't do too badly.
No, he didn't.
He hurt you once. Just once.
I didn't see the punch. I was leaning forward. Bow. And it felt like a window crack. Black for the whole shit.
We've got Gary Mason and Lennox Lewis. Are they two fighters you respect?
I know them very well. For a long time, since we were kids. Right. I remember, I never sparred with Gary Mason, but I used to spar with Lennox Lewis when we were like 15 years old. I know him. And I haven't seen his progress as a professional that much. But he was always a good amateur.
Well, he stayed amateur a long time. He had 2 Olympics.
Yeah, he was. I didn't like the way he was fight. He was intimidated, I think, when he fought Biggs the first time. He was too immature at the time.
He was only 18.
Yeah, but he did well. He did well against the other guy, Riddick Bowe. I didn't like the way he fought, but he did well.
So just give me a final word about the way Mike Tyson is today. Has he got over the shock of last year? All behind you?
It's all behind me. I'm just looking forward to, fighting Ruddock. And I'm in pretty good shape. I'm prepared. You're going to be surprised. March 18th.
And you have no doubts that you are going to be the world champion again?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm on a good course. I'm training. I'm proud of myself, and then my people around me: Roy Holloway, John Horn, Don King, Jay Bright, Richard G.K. I'm very proud of myself and my camp around me for this fight in particular. I'm very confident. I'm keen, very confident, extremely confident. I'm sometimes probably a little overconfident. Need a dangerous fight, but I just feel great. When I don't know. It's hard to define it, but I feel great.
But you've just beaten 2 men inside a round. I mean, the old menace is there again. Eh? You want to beat people badly.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. I want to fight him because everyone else believes that he's great. He believes that he's great. And that's all the right reason for me to, just demolish him. I feel so good. I feel great. I mean, it's really hard to find. I haven't felt this way in a long time. And besides, I'm just so much more mature than I was when I was champion. Because when I was champion, I was just a kid. I didn't know anything about life or nothing. I used to do punching. I really wasn't that good of a fighter, really. Now that I look at it, I think, oh, Christ. But I feel great.
Mike, it's good to see you back. It's good to see you in form. And it's good to hear you're confident.
Thank you very much. And it's always glad to see you. You're a very nice man.
And at Buckingham Palace yesterday, it was underlined what a nice man he is. It's now official. Harry Carpenter, OBE. Congratulations to Harry.
Faced the world's press afterwards. It proved to be another ordeal for Douglas, though.
Mike Tyson's toughest test since his scarcely believable defeat by Buster Douglas is now just days away. In his third fight on the rehabilitation trail, he meets the dangerous Razor Ruddock, who's furious because Tyson said he didn't just want to win, he wants to kill Ruddock. It all, of course, helps to sell tickets.
I'm just basically, confident I can handle the situation. I don't want to overlook anyone. I don't underestimate anyone. I'm prepared. I'm ready to do battle at any time. Now. It's necessary.
The only thing I've been saying is that Mike Tyson said he wanted to kill me. I think as a professional, you don't say things like that in the media. And he took it to a personal level. I know it's personal.
It's no personal resentment. When I made that statement, that's meaning, as a terminology of fighting, that means I'm just going to kick his ass.
And I wonder if Ruddock will wipe the smile off Tyson's face. Well, one of Iron Mike's victims was Larry Holmes back in 1988. On the famous Las Vegas Strip. Venue for Mike Tyson against Razor Ruddock in the early hours on Tuesday. It should be Tyson's toughest test since he's lost the world title 13 months ago. Ruddock will have a considerable size advantage, but bookmakers make Tyson the odds-on favourite. That, though, doesn't impress Ruddock.
A lot of people say, Tyson is back and he's a good fight. It's something that people, they don't give me that much chance about. And I like to go against the odds. I really do. And I like to upset the world, too.
I like to do my intimidate by hitting him more than anything. I don't like to look at a guy and scan. I want to hit him. Because looking is really not, it's not a reality. It's only a reality once he feels the punches.
Mike Tyson, who tonight takes on Canadian Donovan Razor Ruddock in Las Vegas, wound up his preparation for the fight yesterday with this chilling message for his opponent.
You don't need much talking. I just want to hit you, see really how tough you are. You could take for 15 rounds. God bless you, because you're going to take it.
A daunting prospect for Ruddock.
Donovan and Razor Ruddock have weighed in for tonight's big fight in Las Vegas. Tyson is expecting his toughest bout since losing the world heavyweight title 13 months ago, but the former undisputed champion, he's dismissing speculation the meeting with Ruddock has come too soon in his comeback. The bookies agree as well. He's 5-1 on to beat the Canadian.
Mike Tyson faces his biggest test since losing his world crown over a year ago. Tyson has had 2 easy wins since then, flattening Henry Tillman and here demolishing Alex Stewart in just 2 minutes last December. And he's hoping to dispatch Ruddock in similar style. But Ruddock is no mug. In his last fight he smashed Mike Dokes into unconsciousness. The Razor Man has all the physical advantages. He's 11 pounds heavier, 5 inches taller, and has an 11-inch reach advantage. And his fight record does compare favourably with Tyson. But Tyson is in mean and confident mood, and anxious to regain the world crown he believes is rightfully his. At the weigh-in he was in perfect shape, and looked calm, unruffled, and above all supremely confident.
I'm just in great shape, and I don't think, he's a good fighter. He's going to do his best. I'm going to do my best. And like I said before, I expect to be victorious. I don't care what he got. I don't care what he got. He's going to have to use it all.
He knows that victory tonight will earn him a showdown with either George Foreman or Evander Holyfield, who meet next month. That could be the biggest money fight of all time. Not that Tyson will be doing badly from this meeting. He's guaranteed 1.4 million plus a cut of the television rights, while Ruddock gets $1 million. The Jamaican-born Canadian, who's rumoured to have a damaged right hand, isn't flustered.
Listen, this is a heavyweight fight. Two of us are bombers. I consider myself a bigger bomber than Mike Tyson, and when we go in there, we're going to see who's going to, you know, be successful.
Hello, a very warm welcome to you. I'm delighted to have you with us for a special evening of boxing action here on Sky Movies. Tonight, the man in main question is Mike Tyson, surely just one step away now from getting back the world heavyweight title. He says is out on loan to Evander Holyfield, but the man he's got to stop, Razor Ruddock, and Ruddock is good enough to put up an argument at the very least. Also delighted that Frank Bruno is back with us tonight. Great pleasure to welcome you back, Frank, looking a little slimmer and a little as though you've been in a gym, I have to say.
Doing a little bit here and there, Paul, yeah, keeping the wife happy.
Okay, I hope you're going to keep our audience happy. You usually manage to think of something to fulfill that. And also alongside Frank tonight, great pleasure also to welcome back Glenn McCrory, who's returned to boxing as a heavyweight and certainly fills his suits in the proper manner now. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
You're looking well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Two men in question tonight. Certainly have got a venue to match the big occasion. Let's have a look at it. America's also the glamour capital, and here's the latest and greatest fantasy palace of them all. Neon and glitz are normal in Las Vegas, but at the Mirage, they've left nothing to the imagination. 4,000 rooms, there's even a volcano in the car park. In the ring, Mike Tyson says he's back and promising to steal the show. Since losing his title, he's needed just one round to dispose of his victims, ruling as if by fear. Razor Ruddock's the man in his way tonight, big, powerful, and bearing a grudge. He says Tyson's been dodging him till now, but in the ring, there'll be no place to hide. It is a fantastic venue for the biggest fight night of the year so far. And who can wait? Well, I can hardly wait. We have got a lot to get through, and it's going to be a splendid night. Guys, a lot of questions surrounding Mike Tyson tonight. In brief, first of all, come to you, Frank. Ruddock, a #2 contender for the world crown, must be good enough on paper to give a real test to Tyson.
Yeah, he's the most dangerous guy around at the moment. You know, he's very confident. He can box, he can fight, he can do everything that is needed to answer questions of Tyson tonight, I think, Paul.
In a way, Glenn, time for the truth to be come clear about Tyson on his return to the big time.
Yeah, definitely this is going to be Tyson's big test. If he can come through tonight, he's going to be back on a vengeance.
Ruddock perhaps at the head of a long queue as well of guys who believe they can upset Tyson now.
Well, Ruddock, I think, is the most dangerous one. Everybody seems to be avoiding him. He's got some good names on his record, and he's
Tyson's destructive punching power. Ruddock hardly a mug in his own right. His own punching power really quite something, judging by the record, and his confidence about meeting a man who's knocked out 35 of 40 opponents borders on the unreal. He's waited patiently for this big chance, and Ruddock believes he can prove Tyson is no longer invincible.
Whichever way you look at him, Donovan Razor Ruddock is mighty impressive. Fast hands, good legs, immensely strong, and when he hits you, it's like being slugged by a brick. He was born in Jamaica, but brought up in Canada since he was 11. A talented all-round sportsman, at one stage he wanted to be a tennis player, but became a professional fighter exactly 9 years ago. In 1989, he came off the floor to knock out Bone Crusher Smith, and suddenly he was on a mission.
He's a fellow who, if you tell him to run 2 miles, he'll run 4. If you tell him to do 4 rounds, he'll do 7. He'll do 8. If he has a day when he's not satisfied with himself, say that's on a Monday, you've got a rough day as a trainer on Tuesday through Friday or Saturday to try to control him, because he wants to put out and prove that he was better than he was on that Monday.
After Smith, next in line was Michael Dokes, who used to hold the WBA title. Dokes had been in with the very best, but against Ruddock, he was clinically destroyed. It was devastating.
A lot of people say, you know, Tyson is back and he's it's a good fight. It's something that people, they don't give me that much chance about. And I like to go against the odds. I really do. And I like to upset the world too. That's my goal. That's the motivation, is to let people really say, you know, they never learn. People never learn. They keep doing the same thing over and over. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that.
They're beginning to find out. His last fight was against Michael Rouse on the Tyson-Stewart bill in Atlantic City. By now, everyone was waiting for Ruddock to land his bombs. It didn't take long. In fact, less than a round.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So Rouse ends up like 18 of Ruddock's 27 opponents, looking up at him. And it's that awesome power that his connections feel will be decisive tonight.
Well, I believe that he has the power to knock Mike Tyson out. And when he does this, Mike Tyson won't get up until he leaves the arena.
Out of the ring, Ruddock is a vivid contrast to Tyson. He's smiling, relaxed, with plenty of time for everyone. But is he too nice to take on a fanatic like Tyson? Or tonight, will he become a worldwide sporting celebrity?
Nice guy out of the ring, but that gets you nowhere in the ring. And what we have to say at the least about this guy is that he has certainly got a puncher's chance in the ring, if nothing else.
I think he's got more than a puncher's chance. He is a very good boxer, good puncher. It's going to be a very difficult fight for Tyson. I think it's his big test if he's going to come back or not. He's had 3-4 minutes in the ring since he lost to I don't know.
Buster Douglas. I think his name is Buster Douglas, the man who created history. Yeah, okay.
People understand that as well, mate.
This is going to be his big test. If he can come through this, he's going to be back.
Frank, your feelings about Ruddock, first of all?
He's a very, very good athlete, and he's very confident, and he likes, as he says, against the odds. But I'll still go for my man Mike Tyson, you know, because he's like a mugger, you know what I mean? He's like a harbour shot. He'd be onto him like a leech. But you got to give him respect, Ruddock. But you got to take into consideration that he damaged his right arm and his bones, and all those rumours about that, and Tyson, rumours with Don King. We make up a little diet between ourselves and even it out and suss it all out.
Either way, you can. There are rumours about problems with Ruddock's hand, which we'll come on to discuss a little later in the build-up to the fight itself. Don't forget, we're going to Chavez before we go to Tyson against Ruddock.
Right.
And similarly, Frank, with Tyson, you know, the same questions. Is he behaving himself? Is he getting on with Don King?
I think he's definitely behaving himself, because this one he'd be a fool not to behave himself, because this is a touch and go with him, because like Razor can stay in there and test him as he really recovered from the Buster Douglas. I don't think he'd be a touch like Tillman and Alex Stewart. I think it'd be a bit more different task than that. So I think he ought to behave himself and get his head together. But we only can wait and see, Paul.
Okay, we can indeed.
It's going to be a big one. He knows it's a tough fight for him. He'll have done it all right.
Yeah. Do you believe, quickly, on the point that people have suggested that he dodged Ruddock before, do you think that that is true?
I don't think so. At the time, Don King sussed out he was going through a lot of mental problems, and they just sort of like, the bill wasn't selling too good, so they just knocked it on the head for the time being, I think. But if they were dodging it, why would they come back to it straight after the Douglas fight? You know, if they were dodging him, I think the money weren't right over there, and King pulled him out, you know? I don't know what you think, Glenn. I'm sorry I interrupted, didn't I?
Just hold it there, because we're shortly going to go. We'll examine these particular issues in more detail as we run up to the Tyson Ruddock. Still only 24, he held the heavyweight championship of the world at the incredibly tender age of 20, the youngest ever heavyweight champion. Soon after his 21st birthday, he was the holder of all 3 versions of the title, and then it all started to unravel. The shock defeat came last year against Buster Douglas, and it was then that the boxing world felt that Tyson's young career could be over. Since then, though, Tyson seems to have got his act back together again. Some say he looks even more destructive than before.
The Mirage is a fitting venue for this, the most important step in Tyson's surge towards the title he so dearly wants back. The hotel is brash, colourful, larger than life, outrageous, just like the man himself, in or out of the ring. But these days you hear little of Tyson's love of life in the fast lane. It's strictly business. If anything, he's even more fearsome than in those days 5 years ago when he was blasting out all before him as he first carved out his awesome reputation. He fought like a wild beast then. Nothing much has changed. His record is way above any other heavyweight fighting today. He's been a pro for 6 years. As champion, he fought all the leading contenders. He ducked nobody except Razor Ruddock 18 months ago. 3 months later, he lost his title to Douglas. Now he's back. He looks like the #1 and certainly believes it.
I'm a champion regardless, you know what I mean? The belt is just a symbol, you know what I mean? A champion is not only, you know, something from mere guy that shows that you're the strongest man in the world. It's just what you represent as being a champion and how your peers respect you. You know what I mean? In different sports and there's guys that say, well, he's a good entertainer, he's a good dancer, he's a good singer, but other guys say, man, but he's not that good. You know what I mean? The only thing that matters is what your peers think about you.
Well, his peers doubted once he'd lost his title if he'd ever be able to recapture the drive and sheer venom that had taken him to the top. The doubts were swept away in the very first round of his comeback against Henry Tillman.
And a right hand sends Tillman down. The count is 4. The count is 6.
It's over.
Tillman will not get up. It's a first round knockout for Mike Tyson.
I know what Ruddock can do. I had Ruddock was sparring partner when I had Larry Holmes, and I've seen him fight numerous of times. I've negotiated with him, and I think we have, you know, the right stuff to take him out.
Tyson's won many of his fights in these moments just before the opening bell. It's only then that you realize just how he's built, and then you look in those eyes and you know you're in with someone different from anyone you've met before. That's what Alex Stewart was going through in Atlantic City in December.
Tyson going for him with the right straight away, and he's got him! Oh, he's got him with the second punch! Bad moments for Alex Stewart. This might be very brief.
He hit him on the temple.
Well, Stewart needs to hold on. Somehow needs to stop Tyson getting the leverage for another one like that one. Desperate moments for Stewart. What a dramatic start.
It reminds me of what happened with Frank Bruno in the first round of their world title fight, when Frank was put on the floor very early and got straight up again.
Oh, Tyson, no, that is not a knockdown. That is a slip. Crowd at the back of the hall thought they'd seen something sensational. Tyson's looking for this in the first round. There's no doubt about it. He means business, all right.
His last 2 fights.
He's got him again. He's got him again. Again, it was the right.
5, 6, 7,
Stewart trying desperately to get to his feet. I don't think, is he going to make it? Just about. The referee, Frank Cappuccino, looks in the eyes. He says, are you okay? Stewart just about survived the inspection, but only just. He might not survive the round, though. He's being hit hard. Another left hook. He's very wobbly. Tyson knows, I think, that he can get this job out of the way. And the end of this round cannot come quick enough for Alex Stewart. The 3 knockdown rule does apply as well. 1 more knockdown would be an automatic stoppage. So he's got to stay on his feet, otherwise it's curtains for Stewart. Down twice. Tyson back to the old explosive puncher. that we knew as he battled his way to the World Heavyweight Championship in such intimidating fashion. Tyson really letting the punches go, and that's it. That must be it. The 3 knockdown rule applies.
7, 8.
And that's got to be the end of it anyway. I don't think Frank Cappuccino, in all the confusion, quite reacted to that. But it was automatic when Stewart went down again. 19th first-round win of Tyson's career. Mike Tyson has answered all the questions about the zest, fire and hunger in the affirmative. And that was a warning fired to Messrs Holyfield and, of course, Foreman and, of course, Ruddock.
We're going to come out when we did the last 2 fights. We're going to come out and, kick butt. And, I mean, we're going to, stand on him, and the pressure, he will fold underneath the pressure. Mike is in good physical shape. This is not a sport where you're kissing each other, making love. I mean, it's a violent sport, and it's an art, and it's, hit and not get hit and destroy your opponent. So the thing is, when it comes to that face, he's a great gladiator.
People respect, mostly, I believe, how you conduct yourself in a situation. They want to see you in a situation when, things are not always bright and rosy. And they see how you conduct yourself then when you slip on that banana peel. People like to say it, for they can say, oh, you little crybaby or this. But yeah, life is full of ups and downs. When you want to reach the top of anything in your career, you have to be ready to handle the bad parts. It's a tough world out here. And my greatest asset is not my championship belts, it's not me winning. My greatest asset is me.
And he's been proving that in devastating fashion to the few people who've been able to watch him prepare for the man whom some have been telling him is the toughest he's yet met. Tyson's listened to them, and it's inspired him to get into the best shape of his life. His sparring partners have suffered pain and humiliation. And that lack of compassion isn't going to suddenly reappear tonight. Tyson is sick of the very sound of Ruddock's name. The People's Champion aims to be one step nearer becoming world champion again in a very short time.
Tyson and his camp will tell you he's back better than ever, having learned by his disastrous defeat, in the short term at least, against Buster Douglas. I wonder, do my friends here agree with that assessment, that he's actually better than ever?
I think it's very early to say that just yet. This fight's gonna show us that. It's a very tough fight. Hopefully he can come through it. I hope he can, because I think he's good for the game. But
Frank,
it's gonna be tough.
Sorry to interrupt you, Glenn, but Frank, what Tyson is saying is that I have learned from my mistakes. I don't mess around like I used to do. I know what's going on. As we see Ruddock going to the ring.
It's going to test his character today, because Razor Ruddock is a very, very good fighter.
You can see how tall he is there.
Yeah,
6'3",
very good reflexes. Very, very confident fighter. So it proves if Tyson's got over the Buster Douglas.
Good all-round athlete.
You've got to give Tyson a lot of respect. He's very, very good for the game. But this guy would test all you need to know about Tyson tonight. You never know. One punch could always tell. Slow start, a bad hand. All rumours, arguing with King. We've all got to see this is the place and this is the time now.
Yeah, just to amplify what Frank was saying, there are rumours about Ruddock. The fact he hasn't sparred very much. In fact, he hasn't sparred at all in the last 10 days or so. Very quickly, Glenn, is that a problem, or is that just smart, safe preparation?
I think it could be smart, safe preparation. There's rumours he's hurt his hand. If so, he needs time off. If he's done all his work, then he'll be ready. It's his big night. It's up to him now.
Okay, let's quickly take a check on the weigh-in details, shall we? Weigh-in yesterday in the normal fashion in the USA. And here's a check, first of all, on Razor Ruddock, going in 228 pounds, 16 stone 4, 103 kilograms. And that's a pretty useful sort of fighting weight. And Tyson, bang on the button, 15.7. There you see it, 98 kilograms, and Tyson's perfect fighting weight. He says he is perfect. Now is the time to find out. He is on his way to the ring. Giachetti, his trainer, leads him out. Mike Tyson ready for action, perhaps only one fight away from a chance to reclaim the world title. He says he's out on loan to Evander Holyfield. Now is a moment to make a judgment. We shall see. Lennox Lewis and Ian Dark at ringside. Paul, thank you very much indeed. Welcome back to the Mirage. Mike Tyson on his way into the ring. Razor Ruddock has already arrived in the ring. He's bouncing up and down. Tyson, as usual, looking full of intent. Often he walks to the ring without anything at all on his chest.
just like a throwback to the old fighters, just the black boots. But it's quite a cold night out here in the Nevada desert. And Tyson sensibly keeping wrapped up, keeping those muscles warm. Tyson full of malice and evil intent as usual. He's not been happy by some of the taunts of Ruddock during the build-up. And I think it's fair to say he means business here. And you can hear the crowd, rising excitement in the background as they catch a glimpse of Tyson now in that kind of pajama jacket as he makes his way into the ring. Tyson, who's come back from that sensational defeat by Buster Douglas with 2 first-round wins over Henry Tillman and then Alex Stewart. But Razor Ruddock might be an entirely different proposition to them if he doesn't freeze on the night. And I must say, just talking across the picture for a moment and looking at Ruddock in the ring, he does look very bouncy, very confident, not at all like Alex Stewart was before Tyson fought him in our last big feature Tyson night on Sky Movies. Tyson on his way into the ring. 39 wins, only 1 defeat by Buster Douglas, and 35 of those wins by knockout. The former undisputed world heavyweight champion who wants that title back. Remember, George Foreman and Evander Holyfield meet for the title on April the 19th in Atlantic City, and that's another fight you'll be able to see live with us. Ruddock is trying to get near Tyson in the ring to try and give him the eyeball treatment. His handlers are trying to keep him away. But Ruddock is trying to show Tyson that he's not intimidated. Well, Lennox Lewis, the build-up goes on right until the ring. Well, let's just hear the announcer first, Lennox, and we'll grab a word from you.
I'd ask you to rise for the singing of our national anthem. And in the ring to lead us, join me in welcoming the MCA Uptown recording artists known as Jodeci, Casey, and Jojo Haley.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming? Blue cross stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the realms we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner for the land of the free and the home of
So the atmosphere building all the time here now. Tyson and Ruddock being kept waiting and they look as if they can hardly wait to get in contact with one another out there.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and sports fans joining us around the world on King Vision, we welcome you to the beautiful Mirage Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, as Don King Productions, Mirage 3M Promotions, and the Mirage, in association with the undisputed King of Beers, Budweiser, present the main event of the evening. A heavyweight elimination feature bout scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. First, before this bout, introducing to you the co-promoter of tonight's bouts, the highly respected and classy man of boxing with 3M Promotions, Mr. Murad Muhammad. Also in the ring, we have the man who brings excitement to the world of boxing, a fine humanitarian who devotes his efforts to this evening to the men and women and families of the USO and the Red Cross. Tonight's promoter extraordinaire, Don, only in America, King.
Mixed reaction for Don King, to say the least.
Is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman, Dr. James Nave. Commissioners Luther Mack, Dr. Elias Ganem, Bruce Lane, and Nat Karolsi. The executive director, Chuck Minker. Introducing the officials as appointed. Ringside physicians, Dr. Flip Homansky, Dr. James Game, Dr. Al Capana. Timekeepers at the bell. They're also keeping count of the knockdowns. Al Bisick, Mike Lasella. Introducing the judges at ringside for this bout, Chuck Jampa, Dave Moretti, Jerry Roth. The referee in charge will be giving instructions after the introductions, Richard Steele. All right, fans, here we go. This is it, the bout you've all been waiting for. The main event, 12 rounds of boxing, brought to you by Don King, Murad Muhammad, and the Mirage. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing white trunks with red and gold trim. He's originally from St. Catherine, Jamaica, now fighting out of and representing Toronto, Ontario, Canada. His weight this evening, 228 pounds. With a fine record of 25 wins, only 1 loss, 1 draw, he has 18 wins by way of knockout. He is ranked the #2 heavyweight contender by the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF. Introducing Donovan Razor Ruddock.
And Ruddock looking very confident indeed.
Across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, really needs no introduction the world over. He enters the ring ready to fight in solid black trunks, hailing from Catskill, New York. His weight tonight is a ready 217 pounds. With a fine record of 39 wins, only 1 defeat, 35 big wins by way of knockout. He is the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, currently ranked the #1 contender by the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF, mighty Mike Tyson.
So the protracted introductions are over. Referee Richard Steele calls them together.
Okay, I gave both fighters the instructions in the dressing room. I'm cautioning again, obey my commands at all times. In case of a knockdown, you go to the neutral corner, you stay there till I tell you to come out. Is there any question? Shake hands. Good luck.
Referee Richard Steele, one of the most experienced in the business. And Razor Ruddock looking ready for action. Tyson staring at him across the ring. Are we about to see another explosive first round finish from Mighty Mike, as he calls himself these days? Can Ruddock survive the opening blitz? And remember, Ruddock is a fierce left hooker himself. It'll be fascinating to see the effect of these two big punches. Look at Ruddock go for it with the left hook, and lucky for Tyson that didn't find its target. Now Tyson stalking him across the ring. Ruddock tying him up at close range. Some people have questioned Ruddock's height. He's caught by a right then, looked a bit off balance, and others have wondered about Ruddock's real heart. Under pressure, that was a good left hook from him, and that stopped Tyson in his tracks. Tyson trying to fire a right of his own. This opening round might tell us quite a lot.
Ruddock definitely trying to get to him with that left uppercut. It's kind of like a left uppercut, left hook.
They're both looking for the big payoff bombs, aren't they?
Definitely no love lost between these two.
Nice left inside again by Ruddock, then a right uppercut. Ruddock, who does carry real power, he's on a roll of 12 wins inside the distance. There's Tyson with a right to the head, close in. Tyson very fit at 15.5 stone, Ruddock 16 stone 4. Again, Ruddock trying to exploit that left hook of his. Tyson's proved in the past he can hold a punch. Ruddock holding his own so far. No sign of him freezing in the headlights. Little cautionary word from referee Richard Steele. Tyson this time with a good right to the body into the ribcage. That was a good shot. The attempted left back from Ruddock, and then a right cross from him. They really are letting them go. Tyson so anxious to re-establish himself as top dog in this heavyweight division. Has he taken too much of a risk here with the number 2 contender? Oh, and Ruddock there thumps him with a right on the way in. Fascinating opening round, Lennox.
Yes, definitely. Oh, good body shot by Tyson. Ruddock is definitely not a guy who's easy to hit to the head.
Tyson showing good tactical skills. He's twice scored with very good rights to the body, and there's a left inside from Ruddock. And I think that might have just shaken Tyson a little. He just held on. Ruddock's had plenty of successes of his own. He looks quite arrogant and confident at the moment, Ruddock. Comes, still firing it out his own shots as a right goes, and they want to fight after the bell, and Richard Steele almost took one, and they're still having trouble separating them. Some opening round. Lennox, what did you make of that?
Really a good round, powerful round.
Some very good body shots from Tyson in there, but Ruddock really gave as good as he got, I thought, there. Don't tighten up, keep your rhythm. That's Rich Cicchetti in the corner.
Don't leave, give him your hands.
Ruddock definitely breathing hard that first round. I guess that's a little bit of an anxiety, you could say.
Ruddock very slow to get off his stool for round 2. In the other corner, Tyson bounced off the stool. But some big shots from both of them. Look at Tyson there with a fast start in round 2. Looking for a right to the head. Oh, and then a left hook, and down goes Ruddock. And he's saying it's only a slip, but referee Richard Steele is counting that as a knockdown, and Ruddock is not happy about that. We'll have another look on that on the slow motion replay. They both landed with good shots, it seems simultaneously almost. And Tyson there throwing a shot after the referee had called break. It's very acrimonious in there. Tyson is trying the body shots inside. Looking to slow Ruddock down with those. Ruddock's quite a fast heavyweight. Can be. Tyson caught with the left as he's caught with his own jab. Holding him on, no holding. So there was a big row at the rules meeting yesterday about the holding rule. Oh, and Tyson with a right to the head this time. Tyson with significant successes in this second round, Lennox.
Definitely. Good body shot by Tyson.
There's a lot of holding going on, and this time Tyson gets a word.
Tyson doing a lot of dirty stunts in there, known for that, notorious for that.
Sometimes punches and follows through with the elbows, and you've got to be as dirty as he is, really. Ruddock is breathing more heavily now. He's taken some quite big shots in this second round, and this one hasn't gone as well as the opener did for him when it was fairly even, Stephen. It's a good body shot inside this time from Ruddock. Ruddock misses with his left hook. If he could just get one of those to land on the button, the effects might be very interesting to witness indeed. There's again that right to the body from Tyson this time. Only 4 men have ever lasted the distance with Mike Tyson in his 6-year professional career, and his body punching's been good here. He's slowed Ruddock down with it. He's looking to get that guard down so that he can go in with the head punches as well.
Razor definitely established that jab. He's not using that jab. He's not using his natural talent, what he has. He should be pumping out that jab.
Second round, Tyson gives him a real old-fashioned look as they go back to the corner, and it'll be interesting if we get a replay here to see that knockdown again. Ruddock's breathing quite heavily there, Lennox.
Yes, he is.
They're telling him to work the jab, stay outside in the corner. Now here it is again. There it was, a left around the side of the head, and it certainly wasn't a slip, as Razor Ruddock seemed to indicate to the referee. There it is again. But I think there was a lot of him being off balance in that, rather than it being a particularly concussive shot. What did you think, Lennox?
It seemed like he was off balance a bit. The punch kind of helped him off his feet. Tyson's slogan, kick some butt.
He's been wearing hats around Las Vegas saying that. He doesn't mince his words. Round 3. Heavyweight final eliminator. With, we expect the winner to fight Foreman or Holyfield. We'll meet next month. Tyson's body punching has been a feature so far. Ruddock has got to the point where he's going to have to dig deep. Already in the 3rd round. And this is where his heart, that has been questioned in the past, takes its test. The left this time from Tyson. In towards the head. Tyson has impressed everybody in Vegas during the build-up. Training. There's another left hook to the body from him, and it's body shots that are working at the moment for Tyson. As for Ruddock, there have been reports that he hadn't sparred for, some say a week, some say 3 weeks before the fight, which he says is normal. Other people found suspicious. Referee Richard Steele telling them not to hold, not to hold. Ruddock, just at the moment, is beginning to look a little bit discouraged. He fired quite a few of those left hooks in the opening round, and they didn't have the desired effect. And Tyson has got control of things at the moment, though, of course, one punch could change everything.
That's the thing in the heavyweight class. One punch can definitely change the direction of the way the fight's going to go. Ruddock seems like he's setting Tyson up for a left hook, left uppercut. Feels content just to stay in there and lay around and hold.
Good right uppercut inside from Tyson. slowed down quite noticeably in this third round. They were venting all their anger on each other in those opening 2 rounds. Tyson very fired up indeed. He's doing the better work though at this stage. There's that body shot again. Left hook to the body. As they work inside again, the holding, and it's getting to the point where the referee might have to take a point away from one of them. There's good combinations. Then the left hook from Ruddock. He does land with it and suddenly springs to life. So much riding on this one. Neither of them can afford to lose it if they want to get that heavyweight championship. A good left hook from Tyson, and down goes Ruddock. Down goes Ruddock. Can he get up from that? Good left hook. The count's 5. 7. He's up at 7. He'll go to 8 though. I'm okay, he says to referee Richard Steele as the bell goes, and it couldn't have come at a better time. But Tyson there knows now that he can hurt Ruddock. Well, dramatic stuff in the third round, Lennox, that.
Razor seems like he's breathing very hard. I think his anxiety's definitely setting in.
That was a very good shot again though, wasn't it, from Tyson? He does look sharp, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Looks very sharp. The body attack is definitely affecting Razor Ruddock.
Here it is again. There was Ruddock coming to life with his left. He missed with the following one. Tyson there spotted the gap, went for it, and Ruddock in a delayed action fall over on the far side. Got up at 7.
I must add that Razor has been known for having asthma problems.
Yes, he has. In fact, he claimed his only defeat on that against David Jaco. But he hasn't claimed to have been suffering from that for quite a long time. I think the problem with the breathing was more the effects of that punch from Tyson. He only just made it, and I wonder if the bell hadn't come at the end of that third round, whether that might have been curtains. Tyson now, because he's such a great finisher, Tyson, isn't he, that he may well be looking to complete the job here in the round 4.
Yes, Tyson's showing a lot of patience, Tyson seems content just to go to the body, hitting Razor's body, lowering his hands.
Tyson's often been underrated for his boxing skills, and he's showing plenty of good tactical acumen here tonight as well. He's brought down Ruddock's guard with the body shots, and Ruddock was wide open to that left hook that put him down at the end of the third.
I feel that Ruddock should still depend on his jab. Go to that jab. Try and keep Tyson away from him for a bit so he can get a bit of a breather.
Tyson working behind the jab, looking for the right, mixing it up with the uppercut. Nothing back from Ruddock. Tyson will feel at the moment that he has things nicely under control. But of course he must be careful, because Ruddock does have a jackpot punch if he can just find it. There it is again, the left to the body from Tyson. Oh, head and body shots. Tyson now lining up Ruddock, who wants to just hold on and isn't doing much. He's tiring, I think, Ruddock. This, in many ways, from Tyson is far more impressive than some of those first-round demolition jobs, isn't it?
Yes.
Keep the punches up, says referee Steele to Tyson. Did stray a bit low, that one.
Every once in a while, Razor comes out with a terrific power punch.
But discouragingly, Tyson's still there and still coming at him. He's landed it a few times, and Tyson has blinked maybe and just stiffened maybe for a moment, but has got back to his work straight away. And that's a worrying moment when you're a big hitter.
Razor Ruddock tying Tyson up. Whoa.
Punches after the bell again.
the last one. I'm doing both of you.
Tyson seems very relaxed in the corner. Not breathing that hard at all. Looking very confident.
Listen, you know what you're doing? You're falling asleep a little bit. Work off the jab, keep to your game plan. Quit looking for one goddamn punch. Okay? Stay on the game plan. Then go to the body, go to the right hook, then come back up. Do not get off your game plan. Move it, sit down. Don't have to see when you wait out there. I don't want you to wait, okay?
That's Rich Cicchetti in the corner. And some said there was a gap after Kevin Rooney left the camp. Cicchetti's filled that gap quite well, and he's telling Tyson just like it is in there. Don't forget the game plan. Don't look for the one-punch knockout. Splendid insight there into the reality of life in a big fight corner. 5th round. Tyson, of course, has rarely had to go this far. Ruddock comes out with fresh life in his legs at the start of the round. Oh, he's got him with a right. And it lifted Ruddock's leg off the ground as it landed, that punch. But they're certainly both proving they can take a shot as well, aren't they, Lennox?
Yes, they are. Both two incredible power punches in there.
Due to have met in November 1989. Tyson pulling out with an illness. Ruddock on a much bigger payday here. And earning every single cent of it. Ruddock, the Jamaican, now fighting for Canada. Tyson, of course, from Catskill, New York. Lovely shots from Tyson, left uppercut, then right cross. Oh, and then a right again from Tyson, and he looks for the finish, and Ruddock has to hold on and tie him up. Used his experience there. 9 years as a pro, Ruddock needed it. Thunderous punch again from Tyson. Ruddock showing great durability, but how many more of those kind of punches can he take and still be on his feet?
Razor hasn't thrown that jab, and that's his primary weapon. He's only about throwing 5 good jabs out of, especially, he hasn't thrown any jabs in this round. It looks quite weary in there.
He seems to want to trade, doesn't he, with Tyson?
He's got a little swelling around the right eye.
Try and get a closer look at that. I don't think it's anything serious at the moment as Tyson thumps home another right to the head, and the spray was sent flying there as the punches landed. This is a fairly clinical exhibition by Tyson at the moment. Good variety about his work. Economic. Ruddock trying to measure him for size there with the left and then thumbing in the right. Did it well. Last few seconds of the round. Great heavyweight title fight here. Splendid entertainment, and more of it to come. Into the Ruddock corner this time. They're looking at that little nick by the eye. He's needing all that water. I'm asking him how his legs feel. How do you think his legs feel, Lennox?
I think his legs are quite weary at the moment. Ruddock, like I said before, he's only been throwing 5 good jabs around. He's definitely got to get on that jab.
Oh, there was that right from Tyson. It rocked Ruddock's head back on his shoulders. But to be fair to the Canadian, he took it well. He's been down twice in the contest so far, has Ruddock. Round 6. Not many people thought this one between the two big punchers would go this far. I certainly didn't. Interesting to see whether Ruddock does get to work behind his jab in this round. Oh, then they left inside from him. Anyone who questioned the heart and courage of Razor Ruddock had better think again, though. He's shown plenty of that already. He's taken quite a lot from Tyson. And he's given a bit back himself as well. Oh, that's a lovely shot from Tyson again. Found the angle for it, thumped home the right cross over the top. Crowd of close to capacity. Open air at the Mirage, the extraordinary hotel gambling complex in Las Vegas. The wind's died down now. It's quite a warm desert night. Looking to get in with the right hand. I think Tyson just got his gloves there in time to block it.
Tyson's not showing that much head movement like he should be, like in some of his fights.
Oh, that was a great right over the top from Tyson, and Ruddock wants to hold on again. Ruddock with a little nick around the eye, but it's only a nick. There's another right from him. He can't take too many of those. He must get that glove up and stop those shots. Breathing heavily, but that just may be a little habit of his rather than an indication that he's very, very tired. Some fighters do that, and to be fair to Ruddock, he's been doing it from an early stage here. A fight this fit to grace the heavyweight championship itself, as now Ruddock gets to work with two lefts and a right. Back comes Tyson, and Tyson wants to hold him close, shakes his head, takes some punches, and now comes back with a left of his own. But Ruddock there with significant success. He shook Tyson up a bit there, Lennox.
Yeah, he did.
Don King, the promoter of Tyson at ringside, is looking quite serious now. More left hooks from Ruddock, and then a right uppercut, then another left. And Tyson is taking these. Back he comes and invites Ruddock in for more as the bell goes to end the round. And that was Ruddock's round. So what a fight we have here. Tyson seemingly in control, having Ruddock down twice. But how Razor Ruddock came back in that round. Extraordinary, Lennox. What about it now?
Getting back in, he's definitely getting back into the fight. Couple good uppercuts. I still say he should get to that jab, and then everything else will come.
But look how he shook Tyson up with lefts here. Tyson took these punches, but there were a lot of them. And was this the turning point in the fight? Ruddock's taken everything Tyson can throw at him. Right uppercut from Ruddock. Left from Ruddock to the head. Tyson holding on a bit. Ruddock trying to find leverage with a punch. Straight right. Left from Tyson, who comes launching himself back. But Ruddock landed with some good punches. And Tyson there in a show of bravado almost invited Ruddock into him and said, come on, if you want to fight, if you want to slug it out, I'll do that with you as well. Tyson is a professional boxer right down to the soles of his boots. Well, this has always been an interesting fight, and it's showing signs of developing possibly into a little classic.
Yes.
Ruddock, I think his confidence was boosted by what happened in the later stages of that sixth round. Shown great durability. The 27-year-old Ruddock, whose base is Toronto, does his training down at Fort Lauderdale in Florida. Going for it again with the left hook, really looking to find the leverage. Ruddock's proved his pedigree with wins over 3 former world heavyweight champions in Mike Weaver, Bone Crusher Smith and Mike Dokes. Had a great win over Dokes in 4 rounds. And has got off the floor to win before as well. Right over the top. And
oh, that one hurt Razor. Definitely hurt Razor Red.
He took it, but he looks a little unsteady on his feet as he lays against those ropes and tries to take a breather.
Oh.
Oh, left hook. He's got him. He's got him now. Then a right, then another left. Back goes Ruddock, and the referee has stopped it. Oh, that is controversial.
Oh, definitely controversial.
That is... Oh, well, that is absolutely ridiculous in my view. How can they stop the fight like that? Ruddock was taking a little bit, and now we have mayhem in the ring. That did look to be a premature stoppage, and we have a real scrum going on in the ring between Camps, the stewards. We do not need scenes like this. All sparked off by the premature stoppage. It had been a fine fight. Tyson is wheeled away to a neutral corner as it all goes on. But what a pity, what a shame that that had to end like that. It had been a fine and excellent fight. Ruddock can't believe that he was stopped. He'd taken a few to the head. He certainly needed a count, but I'm not sure he needed to be stopped. Are you, Lennox?
Boy, that definitely was a controversial. I would have to look back at that.
Very, very dubious indeed. Well, referee Richard Steele is experienced. I have to say at this point, it was something I hadn't mentioned before, but there had been accusations in the past about Richard Steele being possibly favourable to Don King fighters. That has been said. It's not been denied. Maybe there will be those who will say that referee Richard Steele did Tyson a considerable favour there. Remember that Steele was the man who stopped the Chavez-Taylor fight 2 seconds from the end, when Taylor was ahead, but in trouble. Now that stoppage, I have to admit, I agreed with. This one, if you ask me for opinion, I don't agree with. Ruddock, of course, at his camp, as I've been indicating, didn't want Richard Steele as the referee, and there is going to be hell to play afterwards. Should it have been stopped, Lennox Lewis, yes or no?
Boy, that's only for the referee to say. Looking at it, it looked like Razor was in trouble. It looked like he was unstable off his feet, not knowing where he was, but that is just how he boxes.
But he wasn't down, was he?
No, he wasn't.
And he also, I have to say, at the moment when it was stopped, was in enough control of his senses to then protest verbally to the referee at that moment.
He looked very shocked and surprised.
Well, there is going to be a lot of controversy, and now there's another little scuffle going on in the corner. That was really very, very unsatisfactory, and there will be calls, I'm sure, for a rematch. Steele, there he is, the referee is having to be escorted out of the arena by the stewards for his own safety. There Tyson and Ruddock together, embracing at the end of it after all the bad words. They've got plenty of respect now, and that's good to see. At least the two fighters setting a good example. Now let's hear what the MC has to say.
The time, 2 minutes, 22 seconds in round number 7. The referee in charge, Richard Steele, stops the contest. Winner by way of TKO,
Tyson wins, and wins very contentiously and controversially indeed. And in a moment, maybe we'll be able to grab a word with him up there in the ring. Security guards accompanying Richard Steele out of the arena, the referee. Mayhem here. Let's see what Tyson says.
Control the referee's decision because he's being more objective than I am, because he's not involved. But I would love to hurt him and finish him and put him out.
How was he punching? Was it hurting you?
He punches like a fucking mule kick. Unbelievable. Excuse my French, please. Oh my God. I'd like to say one thing. I'd like to say congratulations to Sheila Holloway and my newborn nephew, Michael Paris Holloway. Thank you. And to my,
the model? Let's take a look.
I'm coming on, baby.
Let's take a look at the model. Let's take a look at and what you watch. You tell me what you're looking at here. These were your series of punches.
Boom,
you got him in trouble. He's in trouble. The boy was hurt.
I was trying to catch him right there. He was hurt pretty bad. I would love to finish. He's at the moment where he's really hurt.
But you see, he still can talk, and he's still on his feet, and he's still conscious. Really, I think that's premature because you should have been allowed to finish him if you could.
I believe so also, but I can't make judgment for Richard Steele. He's an experienced referee, as you know, probably the most experienced in the world, and who am I to make judgment to him? I can't judge him because I'm not his peer.
Two things came out of this. One, you're back.
Yes.
Two, Razor Ruddock is one of the top contenders in the world.
Oh my God, he punches so hard. Punches so hard. Oh, a couple of times he hurt me, but I refuse to be hurt. I refuse. And when I'm right, my chin is like concrete. No one can stop me.
Yeah, how about Holyfield? Now this is out of the way. You passed your test. Holyfield next?
I would love to. I would fight anyone. You know what I mean? It's up to my promoter, Don King, Mirage, Muhammad, and Butch Lewis. They put the matches together.
You know, it would not be a bad idea to fight this guy back because he deserves it.
I would love to have another fight with him. I would love to.
He deserves it.
Rematch for Razor Ruddock.
All right. There you go.
Well, you'll have to excuse Tyson's French, as he puts it, but as he says, he walks it like he talks it. That's the way he does it. Lennox, let's have a final view from you quickly about that. It was very controversial, wasn't it?
It was controversial. Like Tyson said, he would have liked to finish it in a better fashion, and I would have liked to see the fight go on a lot better and a lot more, giving them more time. Richard Steele being escorted out. Boy, I know a lot of people would definitely like to get a hold of Richard Steele.
Tyson said he wouldn't mind giving him a rematch, but I wouldn't mind betting that the politics of boxing are such that Don King won't want to let Mike Tyson anywhere near Razor Ruddock again.
And that may be so. That may be so. I think the game plan they're on right now is going after that World Heavyweight Championship.
They want Foreman or Holyfield, and I think Ruddock's going to have to wait, but they must give him some other chance, and soon, on that performance. Lennox, how far are you away from getting in with the likes of those guys?
I would say within a year, definitely within a year. The atmosphere is great over here, and I feel great being at ringside.
You've learned quite a lot, haven't you, sampling this big fight atmosphere in Vegas, which presumably and hopefully you'll have to get on with. Let's hear Ruddock.
You would have wanted to continue.
I'd like it for him to really put me down so I could be satisfied instead of the referee coming in and stop the fight.
Isn't this exactly what you complained about Murad Muhammad?
Complained about. Richard Steele did exactly what we said he was going to do. He stopped the fight. If you look at the replay, he hit us with one punch, Freddie, and we went against the ropes. As soon as he stopped, my kid said, "What? This is an outrage." Even Mike Tyson walked over and said that Richard Steele's in.
Tyson has said you're one of the hardest punching guys he's ever faced, and he thinks a rematch with you is a good idea. What do you think?
Because he's a warrior.
We're warriors, and I like Mike Tyson now. He proved a lot to me tonight, and I respect him a lot more. But we're gladiators. Let's fight. You know what I mean? The only reason why we have the referee in here is to make sure we don't do anything illegal.
There was a lot of rough stuff going on in there.
Mike was being dirty. Mike was being dirty a little bit, you know, and I guess that's his nature. But I really think Richard should do something about that more.
All right. Do you plan a protest? Where do we go from here?
We plan a protest. We're going to sue Richard Steele, sue the athletic commissioner. We told him about this here. We want a rematch or we go into court. Even Mike Tyson walked over and said they stopped it too soon. We had him hurt. He was hurt worse than we did. He didn't step between.
All right. I hope you don't go to lawsuits, but I hope you get a rematch because you deserve it. The fight should not have been stopped at that point. You should be given the privilege of continuing.
We was hit harder with bone crushers, Doc.
Is he one of the hardest punches you faced?
I thought it was harder than that, but I have to give him a lot of respect. He does punch hard first time, and I'm not taking away nothing.
All right. With a disappointed fighter and an outraged manager.
I'm disappointed because of what Richard Steele did, not because of what I did, because we know that we're two best heavyweights in the world. We expect this. I'm not taking away nothing from Mike Tyson. He's a hard puncher. I'm a hard puncher.
Muhammad Ali was down in the 14th round.
Let me wrap it with what I told Tyson.
Okay.
That validated him as a man that's back, and it validates you as one of the top heavyweight contenders, and you're in good shape for either guy off of this fight. So I think you have a right to ask for a rematch, but that's in the hands of boxing commissions. And let me go back to Steve.
Well, you heard what Murad Mohammed, the manager of Razor Ruddock, said there. Lennox, he said, either we get a rematch or we take it to court. Do you agree with that?
Well, I don't think they get a rematch. Definitely not get a rematch. I don't think Don King would put that in jeopardy, put Mike Tyson in jeopardy like that. They're on a mission. They're on a mission for the World Heavyweight Championship of the world.
But Ruddock has to stay in contention quite clearly after that contentious finish, which you're just watching again there. Look, he's knocked down, and he can say to the referee, "What? You've stopped it? I don't believe it." And to be honest with you, neither did we at ringside. So that is the story here from the Mirage in Las Vegas. A controversial finish, to say the least. Tyson wins on a 7th round stoppage. Stay with us on Sky Movies, because after the break we're going to be getting some more reaction from the studio on that finish, and looking at the whole heavyweight scene and looking back on some of that action. Welcome back. Once in a while, an argument in the ring begets more arguments out of it, and it looks as though this is exactly what's happened in Las Vegas tonight. Tyson ending that fight in highly controversial standards, or rather, I should say, Frank Bruno, referee Richard Steele stepping in. There was a lot of debate before the fight. The Ruddock camp was not happy that Richard Steele was referee. What do you think about what you saw?
I would agree with Razor Ruddock, because I had Richard Steele for the Mike Tyson fight, not saying that anything against it, but you see, you don't see little elbows going in, the heads going in, but out of respect for Razor Ruddock, I thought the referee should have just hold it on, just to let him go on, this guy in dignity. But if he would have got in dignity and Tyson would have ripped his head off, then we would have still been moaning about something. That's a human being and that's a human race, you know. We would always be debating, but he stopped the fight. He was out a little bit, Razor, but out of dignity, you should let him carry on. But
does Richard Steele have a reputation in boxing for being less than fair?
Yes, most definitely, especially in Vegas, and especially for Mike Tyson. You asked me the truth, and I'm saying yes, most definitely. He just, I think, you know, it's difficult for me to say because he might sue me or send something across, but he's definitely one of Don King's friends, you know what I mean? Like, under table friends, to be
And as
honest.
Ian Dart pointed out from earlier in the evening, in case you don't know this, he was also the referee who stopped Chavez against Meldrick Taylor 2 seconds from the end of the last round. So again, there would appear to be some weight of evidence. Let me just hold it there, Frank, because we want to take another look at the incident, in case maybe you've just joined us, got up to see the end of the fight. This is how it ended. Glenn McCrory will talk us through it.
Tyson, at this point, he was getting on top of Ruddock pretty bad, and he caught him with some very good shots. And I thought it was a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice to see him, you know, get a few more on, just to see whether Ruddock could have took them. But I was very impressed with Tyson. He showed a lot of patience tonight.
Okay, now here comes the end, Glenn.
And he's certainly hurt. He's rocking and reeling, getting through in a lot of shots, and Richard Steele jumped in. You know, he looks a little shocked there and says what, but timing a stoppage is always very difficult for a referee, because 2 shots off a fella like that, you know, can mean
hospital.
Yeah, can mean a lot of problems. So he's always going to come in criticism. If he'd let it go another 4 shots, people might have said, well, you know, maybe stopped it too late.
Yeah.
So it's very, very difficult. But I was very impressed with Tyson. He did a very professional job.
I just want to tease this out before we come to evaluate where Tyson stands after this. The reaction from Ruddock immediately was, what? You've stopped the fight. Now, that tells a story, Frank.
Yeah, it does tell a story in a way. A fighter always will tell a story, but you see, we'll be arguing here all night, you know, because if you look at it, he was taking some serious heavy blows there, yeah? The referee, Richard Steele, would have let it go on, then he would have took 2 more, or even just 1 more serious blow, and then he would have ended up sort of like some damage, and then he would have said, oh, it's bad for boxing. You know, human beings, you always can debate about everything. Out of respect for Ruddock, you know, he showed a lot of heart in there, because from round one he was taking some serious hits around his head and his body and that. And out of respect for him, they should have let the fight just go on a little bit more longer. But if it, as I said, I might sound like a parrot. But
No,
if they would have
not
let
at
it gone on, we would have still been arguing. There's been, you could get letters and people writing in saying, look at boxing this, look at boxing that. There's always a debate. But Richard Steele, there's no debate about that man. In Nevada, for Tyson, he favours Tyson more. I don't know. I keep my mouth shut. I don't want
No, I think you made yourself very clear, if I may say. On the point about the timing of the stoppage, though, Glenn, I think that from the other side, you've got to point out, you know, the damage that one punch to a defenceless fighter can do. You know, you're talking about a world-class, highly conditioned athlete, but in heavyweight boxing, one punch can really upset somebody's health.
Oh, sure, especially a guy like Tyson. I mean, you know, one punch and he can knock a guy senseless. And that's got to be taken again with Cesar Chavez. I mean, I can't get into any discussions about Richard Steele because I don't know enough about him. He's always in there top-line refereeing, but against Chavez, he had Meldrick Taylor very hurt. Tyson had Ruddock very hurt, and he'd won everything. So, I mean, it might have been too early, it might not, who knows. But Tyson was winning, and it looked very impressive.
Okay, it was a hell of a debatable end to the fight, but what a good fight it turned out to be. It certainly lived up to our expectations, and Ruddock, now you know what we've been saying all night, why the fuss has been about Razor Ruddock and why some people said he should have had his chance at Tyson a lot sooner than he got it. He gave an excellent account of himself, durable, determined and athletic, as we predicted. For once, we got it right.
He came in, I think, with the wrong tactics, because like he's a little bit arrogant in the way that he just wants to go in and prove himself. If he would have danced around, he could have done a better job against Tyson, because he can move Razor Ruddock. He's got good reflexes, but he just came in there wanting to warmonger with the guy all the time, and it suits Tyson much more better. But not taking nothing away from him, he showed a lot of heart there, because he did take some serious hits around the top of his, upside his head, as they say in America, and around his body, you know, so you got to give him a lot of respect. But if he would have moved around and jab, like he's very beautiful jabber, but it's so easy to say. We didn't really see that jab. Yeah, we didn't see it at all. It's so easy to say from this seat, he should have jabbed and that, but when you're in there, it's a different kettle of fish.
Okay, but he did not apply that left jab and move principle in the way that Douglas did to great effect against Tyson.
And he could have done. He thought he could have. I think he had big respect for his own punching power, and he thought he could have done the job. And he just waited for Tyson coming in and, you know, fell into Tyson's game. That's what he likes. He likes the guy standing in front of him so he can get his big shots off.
Okay, Murad Mohammed was quickly in there after the fight, the manager of Ruddock, to look for the rematch. Obviously, he's very, very angry about the way that's ended. Can we realistically see a short-term rematch?
It's a bit difficult, like with promoters and the ego business at the moment. Seeing that hard fight there, if they were sensible, they would wait until to see the outcome of the Holyfield George Foreman fight, and then hopefully if Tyson wins or one of them wins, they go for the Razor Ruddock. But they'd be stupid just going straight to the rematch unless Mohammed has got some powers above and he can see God and get the rematch instantly, but I don't think so, you know, to be
Perhaps
honest.
Doesn't have quite the influence of Don King, certainly.
Right.
But you've mentioned Foreman and Holyfield there, so now we have to open it up. Glenn, Tyson's performance tonight, which has impressed you, you've said already, where does this leave him now relative to Foreman and Holyfield?
I think this obviously leaves him as #1 contender. He's got to fight the winner. It's going to be a very good fight, Foreman Holyfield, and Tyson's going to be there waiting. And I think it's going to be more interesting because people's going to say he's back. He looked great. He looked more patient. You know, we're all waiting to see what happens to Foreman Holyfield.
Many friends among the boxers whose efforts you've reported. Here you are with Mike Tyson. Now, Terry Lawless. Terry, where are you sitting now?
Just here.
There you are, Terry. Now, you were with Harry when you first met Tyson, weren't you?
Yes, it was in the gym in Canning Town, and when he was introduced to Harry, he became like a starstruck little boy and asked for Harry's autograph. And it turned out that the first book he'd ever read was a book on boxing history that Harry had written.
Well, why not let us hear from the man himself? He's on the line now from Las Vegas.
Hi, Harry Carpenter. This is Mike Tyson. And I would just like to say it's been great working with you, and I always look forward to work with you. You're a class act, you're a gentleman, and I really love you and respect you. You know what I mean, Harry?
Thank you, Mike Tyson. Kingston front flag. Frank, do you get a quid every time anybody says that?
A year ago this week, top American referee Richard Steele was involved in a major controversy when he stopped a world title fight with just seconds remaining. IBF champion Meldrick Taylor had been heading for a split points decision against the WBC champion Julio Cesar Chavez. When in the final round, Steele ended the contest after Taylor had been knocked down.
Chavez trying to finish strong, and he may have Taylor in a bit of trouble. Oh, down goes Taylor! Counters 1, up to 3, and 4, and 5. Taylor gets back up 6 and 7, and 8, and 9. There may not be enough time left in the fight. No!
And once again this week, Richard Steele was at the centre of another big row after the Mike Tyson-Razor Ruddock fight. There's talk of a rematch in June after Ruddock was stopped in the 7th. Steele says he was seriously hurt and helpless on the ropes.
You know, my major thing that I try to get across is this young guy, he's going to be able to come back and fight again. If I had to let him take those 2 punches that everyone wanted me to let him take, he might not ever fought again.
Sure, people are going to say, oh, he's such a humanitarian. He's such a good referee because he is doing his job. He's saving a life. Where do you draw the line? The man has been in so many controversial stoppages.
When he gave me the communicated to me that he has had enough, he surrendered. I mean, I act, and I did get that type of response from him.
If I would have surrendered, would I have said to him, what? If you watch the tape over, you know, if you look in my eyes, did I look really hurt? If you see the tape, did I look really hurt?
Britain's Mike Jacobs has been a referee for 27 years, officiating at more than a dozen world title fights. He knows Richard Steele well, and after watching the Tyson-Ruddock fight several times, this was his verdict.
There comes a point in time when a referee has to make a judgment call in what he sees before him. Now, in that ring, you had arguably two of the heaviest punchers and best fighters in heavyweight boxing today. And what many people overlook is the fact that, as well as being very big punchers, they're very fast punchers. Their hand speed is tremendous. And when you have a fighter in a dazed condition like Ruddock was, nigh on defenceless at that critical point in time against the ropes with one arm over the top rope, therefore making the job very difficult to defend himself, particularly against Tyson's wicked left hook, I believe the referee was absolute.